So if you know me, you know that I'm a big fan of storybooks and GitHub Pages. So especially in the era of the ChatGPT, storybooks are very easy to create and generate. So this is the reason that I love storybooks, and I find out that with GitHub Pages they are like a superpower because you can easily deploy them with your GitHub repository. So make it easier for other people to collaborate, share it with others, share it with customers for whatsoever. So this is the reason that I like this combination. So today I wrote a article on Medium. Let me show you the article. So it's here. I will link down the article below this video. So in this article, I explained that how you can set up the storybook with GitHub Pages. So let's go through the article together and run the thing and set up the thing together. Okay. So the first thing that it is that if you have already an existing project, you don't need to do these steps. But if you don't have, you can follow along with me. So the first thing is that you clone my GitHub repository. So after that, let's go to the directory. After going to the directory, let's so this one very important. Okay, so if you are using your own repository, okay, please do not run this command. This one is removing your git. Just now, because I was taking my own GitHub repository and you cannot to deploy it to the final one, so this is the reason that I'm removing the git. Okay, however, if for example you are using your own project, never ever run this command. Okay, so let's remove the unnecessary files. Press yes. So okay, so now we are all set. So now let's run the VS Code and close the previous page. Okay, so let's open the terminal. Okay, so we are all set so far. Okay, so next, this is the most important part of this tutorial. Okay, so this is a place that we are manipulating the package.json. The reason that we are manipulating the package.json is that for building the storybooks, you have to tell the storybooks the URL. Okay, so he has to read it by default from the location that it is located. Okay, so the command that is doing this is that in package.json, by default, you have to set the home page to the current directory. So it would be a relative path. Okay, so this is the most important one. Okay, the next command that I put over here, this one is not very important, but I like to change the output directory for the build. Okay, let's see if it will work. It will not. I believe that I haven't tried, but I believe that if you don't do this, this is optional. Okay, I think will work. However, I like to put everything in docs. So if you put it here, so let's go to the package.json. Set the home page to current directory. So when it means that when you build the directory that the build it is, he consider it as a current directory. And then replace. So in here, you see there is already an existing build storybook. You have to replace it. Okay. And let's put a comma at the end. Okay. So okay, so we are all set. Okay. So in here I explained that how it's supposed to be your package.json look like. Okay. So next, we have to install the dependencies because just now we clone, right? So what will happen is that none of the things are there. So you have to do npm iForce because the thing that it is that there is a issue with the React version and conflict, I think, with the storybooks, if I'm not mistaken. So what happened is that you cannot just write the normal npm install. Okay. So most probably, if you are using your own project, you would not have this kind of issues. Okay. And the other command that I'm running here is running the building the storybook. Okay, so I believe so. This one will take a while. Okay, most likely I will edit this one. Okay, the build is done. So now let's run the build storybook. This one also take a while. make sure the build is successful. Okay, so you see everything green. Okay, he is not screaming or something. So sometimes you see that for example, especially if you're doing your own project, this one maybe start screaming or something like that. Okay, please make sure that everything is all set properly. So okay, so if you do this, okay, so if you do ls docs, okay, so you have to see a lot of file here. The main files that you are looking for is these ones. Okay, so even you can check it, you can go manually and check it here. Okay, so we are all set here. Okay, so if you see we are all set here, so the next step is going to the GitHub and setting it up over there. Okay, so okay, so I assume that, for example, if you have if for example if you have your own repository, this steps is unnecessary. Okay, but since I'm doing this one as a tutorial, so you have to, I'm trying to consider that everything is fresh. Okay, so over there you have to name the repository to the one that I mentioned here. Okay, so make it easier, so you just can copy paste everything, so make life much easier. Okay, so yeah, so okay, so just do this. Okay, make sure that you don't select any of this. Okay, so to make so to follow the tutorial as I'm doing, and build the entire thing. Okay, so the good thing, this is the feature that I love about GitHub. He tell you that what you have to do. Okay, so we using the existing repository, so let's go over there, build it, just git init and git add all. After that, git commit and say, for example, init. Okay, so we already built the entire thing. So now we can follow the command that he mentioned in here. Okay, so use the ones that is written in your own repository. Why? Because the thing that it is that your ID, it would be different than mine. So let's run one by one. So this one is setting the location of the remote. This one is changing the. No, this one don't do it, because I think later I will change the block, because I use main over there rather than master. Okay, and last thing that it is like git push to origin master. Yes, so okay, git push to origin master. So yeah, so everything is done here. Okay, so let's go to the tutorial. So you see we already done until this step, so everything is perfect. Okay, so now we have to go set up the GitHub pages. So this one is very straightforward. You just go to the setting. After that, go to the pages. Inside the pages, you have to set the branch. So now we just change the master. So, and the next thing that it is that he asks you that which folder you want to be. So we want to be at docs. And after that, we want to save it. Yeah, so okay. So the moment that you do this, so it takes a while that he compile the thing. So if you see, go to the actions, actually he's building it on the background. Okay, so it takes a very long time, but normally I have a practice. Meanwhile that he is doing this, I will go to the code and I make sure that the docs is there. Okay, so if, for example, you see that you go there and you see that the page does not pop up or something like that, the possibility that the docs is, there is some issue with docs is very often. Okay, so another thing that it is that, for example, this one I'm doing it manual, but in the real production normally I'm doing it with the GitHub actions and those kind of things. So I always check this one. Okay, and another thing that it is that check that when was the last update. Okay, so for example, if you're using it with a GitHub action or something like that, what will happen is that maybe it is from the previous build or something like that. Okay, but like this you are very sure that it is what it is. Okay, so you see it is already, I think the GitHub action is done. Okay, so to make sure that everything is goes as smooth. Okay, so you just come here and check the thing. So the final step is to, when you come to the pages, you again go to the pages, you have to see a link here. Okay, so it means that you go to the setting, after the pages you have to see a link here. But if you don't see the link over there, okay, the most important thing that you have to check is that you come to the actions and check that everything is deployed properly. So this is very important. Okay, so let's go to the setting, go to the pages, and inside the pages, go to the one. Yeah, voila. So you already get the thing. Okay. So very beautiful. Everything is done, and everything very happy and happy ending. So I have lots of links. I will add all the resources on there. Okay, so please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I have a bunch of affiliation. If you do that, you are helping me to don't die of hunger. So please use the affiliation links on there. You can follow me on you can follow me on the MyMiser and Medium as well. So yeah, that's all. Thank you. Have a good day.